Isabel Hilton is chair of the Great Britain China Centre. Isabel, welcome back. Good to see you. Well, despite the positivity and the excitement and the diplomatic niceties, the elephant in the room as China and the UK meet is the steel industry and the problems surrounding that. Is that likely to be resolved?
I think that will take some time, to be honest. I mean, it's very good to see the enthusiasm, and it's very good to see the warming relations and the promises. But I think, like the steel industry, there are a number of issues that are quite tricky, and that the closer one gets to trying to execute this goodwill, if you like, in deals, those issues will come up. It's not going to be resolved today, no.
Wang Wentao, in his speech, described the UK's services industry as a key strength. Is services trade going to become the new centrepiece of this China-UK relationship?
Well, I think it has been the centrepiece for some time, in the sense that it is the very positive side of what is quite an unbalanced balance sheet. And services do remain key strengths of the UK economy. And that includes, by the way, education, which we often forget when we talk about services. And that's been a very large part of positive bilateral engagement, despite the ups and downs in politics. But the total trade, you can see the importance of services if you look at where it fits in the picture. Total trade between the UK and China was upwards of 134 billion in 2025. That's up 5%. But there's a significant structural imbalance. So the UK has an 11.7 billion surplus in services, and that's important. The gap, however, in goods, the deficit is 51.4 billion. And the difficulty is that I really don't see that services will ever close that gap. So whilst it is very positive, we also have to address the other side of the balance sheet to have a balanced relationship.
The UK Minister Peter Kyle said serious engagement is back. Beyond the words, what concrete outcomes should businesses expect from this?
Well, I think what they're hoping for is that market access improves. The consumer market in China has been underperforming, and foreign brands have faced a range of non-tariff barriers, so many important exporters are losing market share. There is the question of subsidies to Chinese companies, and the recent OECD report was quite influential. The numbers were pretty shocking. You know, they put it at between 4 and 9 times the subsidies that businesses in OECD countries receive, and that just creates unfair competition, an unlevel playing field. So I think UK businesses would really like to see acknowledgement from China that this is a real problem and some action, because frankly, you know, if trade is not mutually beneficial, then trade is not going to flourish. So I think a conversation about that which leads to some outcomes, I think, would be a tremendously positive move at this point.
Isabel, good to see you. Isabel Hilton, the chair of the Great Britain China Centre.